What is the most ODD thing your child has done? When my daughter Zoe turned 10, she developed this weird obsession with money. Not toys or video games like other kids, but actual money. She'd sit at the kitchen counter counting her allowance over and over, organizing it by denomination, even researching investment strategies on my laptop. I thought it was just a phase until I came home from work one Thursday to find her sitting at our dining room table with a stack of printed papers spread out everywhere. I walked closer and couldn't believe what I was seeing. Job applications. Like actual job applications from every business in town. Burger King, Target, CVS, even the local nursing home called Sunset Manor. She had them all filled out in her careful 10-year-old handwriting. When I asked what she was doing, she looked up at me with the most serious expression and said, "Dad, I need to start building my credit score now so I can retire by 40. I almost choked on my coffee. This kid was 10 years old talking about credit scores and retirement plans. I figured she'd gotten the idea from some YouTube video, so I just laughed it off and told her to clean up her mess before dinner. But then 2 days later, our landline rang. I picked up and this woman's voice said, "Hi, is this the contact number for Zoe Williams? I'm calling from Sunset Manor about her application for assistant to the director of nursing." My blood went cold. I looked over at Zoe, who was watching cartoons on the couch, acting like nothing happened. I told the woman there must be some mistake, but she kept talking. "Oh no, we received her application in the mail yesterday. It was quite impressive, actually. She wrote that she's small but mighty and can cheer up sad old people. She even included references." I had to sit down. References? Yes. She listed her 4th grade teacher, Mrs. Davis, and someone called bus driver Gerald. Oh, and she included the most adorable professional headshot. It's a drawing of herself holding a clipboard and a coffee cup. I put the phone on speaker and called Zoe over. When I asked her about it, she just shrugged like it was totally normal. I figured I should start somewhere entry-level to gain experience. The woman from Sunset Manor was still on the line, and I could hear her trying not to laugh. She explained they obviously couldn't hire a child, but the residents would love to have someone read to them if we were interested. That Saturday, Zoe insisted on dressing professionally for her work visit. She put on her pink Sunday dress with a tie she borrowed from my closet that hung down to her knees. She even carried a little notebook and pen in a briefcase she made from a shoebox. When we got to Sunset Manor, the residents absolutely loved her. She read them stories, told them jokes, and asked them about their lives like she was conducting interviews. One old man named Frank said she reminded him of his granddaughter, except way more ambitious. The nursing director pulled me aside and said in 30 years of working there, she'd never seen anything like it. Zoe had somehow figured out that the residents were lonely and needed someone to talk to, not because she wanted to help them, but because she thought it would look good on her resume. After 3 hours, Zoe came up to me and asked if this counted as volunteer work for college applications. When I told her she had 8 more years before college, she frowned and said, "Dad, you have to think ahead. Do you want me living in your basement forever?" The drive home was quiet until she asked, "So when do I get my first paycheck?" I explained that volunteers don't get paid, which made her really upset. She crossed her arms and said, "This is terrible business practice. No wonder old people are sad all the time." But here's the weird part. The next week, she asked if we could go back to visit Frank because he seemed lonely. When I asked if it was for her resume, she got quiet and said, "Maybe I just want to make sure he's okay." That's when I realized my 10-year-old wasn't just obsessed with money. She was trying to figure out how the adult world worked and somehow stumbled into actually caring about people along the way.